Hello guys, I'm Kiri, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about Porsche 914. Porsche 914 was in production from 1969 to 1976 and was the entry-level Porsche you could buy. It replaced the Model 912, which was exactly 911 first generation but with 4-cylinder boxer engine. That's why in 1968 they decided the cheap entry-level Porsche must be unique, not to be based on the expensive 911 platform. Porsche asked Volkswagen for advice, and then they decided to build the car together. Even the very early versions of the Porsche 914 actually they are with badge Volkswagen Porsche 914. The design was made by Karmann, and of course they built the chassis and all the body. And then Porsche take the car and they finish with the assembling with the engine, the gearbox, the suspensions, the interior, etc. etc. The car is target type with removable roof. The engine is in the middle behind the front seats. Actually, there are only two seats, so the car is only for two people. Rear wheel drive, pop-up lights, and is very small. Was a mass production car. Actually, it's the first Porsche mass production car with approximately 119,000 were made. Just for 7 years production run, 116,000 there with flat 4-cylinder Volkswagen engine 1.7, 1.8 or 2 liters, and just 3,332 with the flat 6-cylinder Porsche 2-liter engine. But they are very rare. Actually, the car what we have here today is with the flat 6-cylinder Porsche engine. The body of these cars is a little bit different, mostly outside. You can recognize them by the fat wheel fenders. Also, Porsche made only two cars with V8 engines, but they are like prototypes, and they are known like Porsche 914-8. So the cars with the 4-cylinder engine, they are known like Porsche 914-4. The cars with 6-cylinder engine, they are known like Porsche 914-6, and then the 8-cylinder engine with for Porsche 114-8. When the car came in 1969 was offered only with the 4-cylinder engine 1.7, how I said from Volkswagen, developing 18 horsepower, but with fuel injection, 1679 cc, 136 Newton meters, single cam, 2 valves per cylinder, 5-speed manual gearbox, brakes, of course all 4 brakes there was discs, front and rear, the tire 155 SR15. The weight of the car was 940 kilograms. The maximum speed 187 kilometers per hour or 116 miles per hour. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour, 13.3 seconds. And then came the 6-cylinder engine from Porsche 911. Here we have 2 Weber carburetors, so no anymore injection, so 2 Weber carburetors, 1991 cc. Of course, the 2-liter engine was well known from the Porsche 911 and producing 110 horsepower. Again, single cam, 2 valves per cylinder. The car was offering with 5-speed manual gearbox or 4-speed automatic because of the American market. The car was well selling in America. So that's why they was offering the car also with the 4-speed automatic transmission. But most of them they're with 5-speed manual, because this car is mostly for the enjoy. The tires on the 6-cylinder engine are 165 HR15 or 185 HR14. 985 kilograms, of course, is a little bit heavy because of the big engine. The maximum speed is 207 kilometers per hour or 129 miles per hour. Acceleration from 0 to 100, 8.7 seconds or to 62 miles per hour. 2 years later, the 4-cylinder 1.7 liter Volkswagen engine was replaced by again Volkswagen, but 1.8 liter, so 1795 cc, again fuel injection with 84 horsepower, so 4 horsepower more, 138 Newton meters, with only 5-speed manual transmission. So here we don't have automatic transmission. The tires 165 SR15. The weight is roughly like 1.7 950 kilograms, so just 10 kilograms more, 178 kilometers per hour maximum speed, or 111 miles per hour. Here we have a little bit less maximum speed than the 1.7 liter engine. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or 62 miles per hour, 12 seconds. The acceleration actually is better here from the 1.7 first engine. Then, the vast evolution of the 4-cylinder engines on the Porsche 914 was the 2 liters. The 2-liter one, 1970 cc, with fuel injection of course, was producing 99 horsepower and 160 newton meters of torque, exactly the same newton meters of torque like the 6-cylinder engine. Was single cam, 2 valves per cylinder again, only 5-speed manual gearbox transmission, the tires 165 HR15, and the weight was the same like the 1.8 liter engine, 950 kilograms. The maximum speed was 119 kilometers per hour, or 118 miles per hour. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or 62 miles per hour. The 2-liter 4-cylinder engine is doing for 10.5 seconds. All the models are with the same suspension type, McPherson in the front, and semi-trailing arms with the coil springs and shock absorbers in the back. The wheelbase of the cars is 2 meter 450 millimeters. So all the cars, doesn't matter from the engine, 1.7, 1.8, 2 liter or the 6-cylinder engine, they have the same dimensions, the same sizes. The wheelbase is the same, 2 meter 450 millimeters. The car is long, the Porsche 914 is long 3 meter 985 millimeters. It's wide 1 meter 650 millimeters and is high 1 meter 220 millimeters. Just maybe little bit difference because of the US regulations, so the bumpers maybe on the US cars are a little bit bigger, and maybe it's going to have some difference in the how long is the car, but actually the European market, the cars are long 3 meter 985. And just the model what we have here today is a bit wider, because how I said before, the fenders are wider to accommodate the wider track and the wider rear tires. Then, in 1976, Porsche 914 was replaced by the new model Porsche 924, and this was the first front-engine Porsche ever, with the 2-liter engine from Volkswagen again, but not anymore flat 180, was 4 inline type engine producing 125 horsepower. But for me, this was not the real successor of this car. The real one was many years later in 1997 Porsche Boxster. The same configuration, the same convertible type, the same Boxer engine of course in the middle. So this was the real successor, Porsche Boxster, of the Porsche 914. But anyway, let's go back to our car, the Porsche 914, and especially the model up front of us, Porsche 914 6, because 6 is coming from the 6-cylinder engine, which is very rare. How I said before, just 3,332 in total were made from all the 119,000 approximately made between 1969 and 1976. So how you know this 6, how I said, is coming from the 6-cylinder engine. The other ones are known like 914 4. So this was the top model for 914, Porsche 914 with the 6-cylinder flat 180 degrees engine directly delivered from the world famous Porsche 911. On that time, the Porsche 911, when it was released in 1963-1964, was with flat 180 degrees 6-cylinder engine, and the capacity was 2 liters, exactly the same engine, 1991. And then slow they start to raise the engine to 2.2, 2.4, 2.7. Everyone knows Carrera RS 1973 with the 2.7 liter engine. So from 2 liter, Porsche start to raise in the engine up and up. But here on this model we have the very first Porsche 901 actually. This is the code of the engine, the 2-liter engine from the 911. But on this car 914 we have better handling because the engine is in the middle. The weight distribution is absolutely perfect, a very balanced car, and of course many racers preferred this model 914-6, but they didn't prefer 911 because how you know the 911 actually the engine is on the very back of the car, so the balance is not that perfect. So this was the better car, and actually the car what we have here today is a racing car actually, was prepared especially for racing. How you can see inside is with roll bars and many stickers, of course the extra lights on the front, the KBL lights and the frog type lights. Now many Porsche 911 you can see with these two lights on the bonnet, so this was something like its inspiration from these early models. So this is the Porsche 914 and is equipped with the the best actually Porsche wheels, Fuchs from 911. So this for me, the Fuchs wheels are the best Porsche wheels ever. And this is Porsche, how I said, this racing car with the pop-up lights, of course, is better balanced than the Porsche 911, and actually it's very rare, how I said, I'm gonna say again, just 3,332 in all entire world are made with the 6-cylinder engine. So this is Porsche 914-6. The originally the power of this car, how we said, is the 110 horsepower, but here we have this racing car with 210 horsepower. Of course this racing car completely different, and you can see the rear fender is wider, much more wider, and the tires are Michelin, here a 15-inch of course. Absolutely beautiful car, and this orange is the perfect color, and the roll bar of course, just have a look at the Michelin tires and the Fuchs wheels, amazing car. So guys, I hope you liked the video about this Porsche 914-6. If you like, please subscribe to the channel, and see you next time guys, bye.